Alright guys, we are back again. So the other day after I got done building the table, I went to clean the roof of it and broke the hatch. So, I mean, we're gonna take it out and put like a skylight in there anyway. Just now I'm doing it faster because I gotta fix the latch that's broken. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. First, before I go get the stuff, I'm gonna pull it out, get it cleaned up, and then we'll go get the materials and start building it. There we go. Oh, the sun's right in my face today doing this. Rude. Boom. Bottom is out. Now we move to the top. Alright guys, so in this next section I'm unscrewing and taking out all the weather stripping and the silicone that they got holding the top down. I would recommend setting aside about 30 to 45 minutes and get yourself a decent scraper because it does not like coming off. They made it to where once it's on there they don't intend it to come off, so just prepared for that. Plexiglas, some weather stripping. I got some silicone. Got some self-tapping metal screws, roofing screws, latches, and some hinges. I'm gonna start by framing out the center of it. Some 1x1s, and then we're gonna build the top part. Skylight. Alright, so remember whenever you're cutting, you have to take into account the width of the blade. So we're doing these at 26 inches. 26 inches. I like using a straight edge. You don't have to if you're using one of these because it's already there, but I do it anyway. Mark it 26. So 26 inches is at the line. So you're gonna want to go right to the side of it. Because if you go center on it, you're gonna take off the width of the blade and it's not gonna be 26 inches anymore. Make sure it's butt up against it. Boom. And then this board that I'm putting in here, I'm just going to use it as a support. So when I put the next piece on top of here, it's not just getting held down, but this piece is actually going to sandwich this metal in between here. Give it a little bit more of a ceiling place. I'm going to put some around here, and I got another one back here. All right, we're going to start building the upper frame. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sandwich these together like this. And then when I get up there, then I'll put the rest in there. But what I'm gonna do, because this wood is so small, I'm gonna pre-drill the holes in there in the ends, so that way when I screw them together, it doesn't split. That one there. We're gonna hold this one here. Right. Hold that there for me. Ah! Oh no!
Everything is falling.
Everything is falling. Okay, we got this. There we go. Alrighty. Next one. There we go. There's one side.
Now for that side.
Alright. Can you help?
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Ready? Alright, one more screw. Last one. Sweet. Now will it fit through the hole? I don't know. Yep, there we go. Alright, what are you doing? You ain't climbing up there.
I'm just being me.
You can't be climbing up on stuff.
I'm just being a monkey.
You can't be a monkey. You're a human. Alright, now I'm gonna get the silicone. I'm gonna silicone it down, and then we're gonna throw some screws down it and start on the top part. Alright, we got the upper frame done now. It's a little off center, but it's okay. It'll still be fine. I was able to get all the screws in. Got the silicone nice and squished in between there. I'm gonna go back through with like some tin snips and clean up all this so that way it's not in the way. Next part is to build the plexiglass latch. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the hinges on this side, put the hinges on this side, Latch is on this side, so that way as we're going forward, I don't have to ever worry about the latch kicking it up and going like that. All right, we got the second frame built. Now it's time to put the plexiglass on it. This is where it gets fun because plexiglass, depending on the manufacturer and how good they did it, can be a pain to drill through. So this is going to be fun. You want to leave the plastic on as long as you can too, so you don't scratch it. So we're going to leave the plexiglass on while we're doing this. Plastic on the plexiglass. Yeah. Got it. Try and get it squared up as good as we can. And what I always do, a couple times I have done this, is I've put the 4 corners in, because this piece is bigger than what we're actually using. I'll put the 4 corners in, and then I can scribe on the outside. I can flip it over, scribe the outside, and cut it off that way. See how it goes. Anytime you're going to be doing anything that's going to be around water and you don't want it to seal, just go ahead and get the roofing screws. They got a little rubber base on them, so that way when you screw it in, it'll actually expand and water won't get into the hole you just drilled.
Cool.
Is that cool, Sadie? All right. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to let you help me with this one. All right, so this is one of those moments where you don't want to rush and do what you're about to do, because I started to and I almost cracked the plexiglass. The drill bit I originally had thought was big enough was too small, and when I went to set the first screw, it almost started to crack the plexiglass. So I had to stop, find the right size, and drill the hole out a little bit bigger. But just take your time while you're doing this. You don't want to cause any more problems for yourself or waste any money, because once you crack it, there's really no going back. You have to get a whole new sheet and start over. Boom. There's that. I used to have one, but I couldn't find it, so I just went ahead and got a new one. It's not like wood, you're not going to be able to like cut this section out and then just this section. You have to do the entire piece so you can get it to break off nice and cleanly. Alright guys, we got it all cut. Now it is time to take out all the screws I just put in. I'm going to put a bead of silicone around the bottom in between the glass and the wood, and then screw it back down. Alright, right here I start putting down the silicone. I got a outdoor weather resistant one. I've used it on boats and stuff, and it seals up pretty good. You don't really have to worry about too much water getting in it. You don't have to use a lot, because when you do screw the plexiglass down, it does actually spread out to the edges. You don't want to have too much overspill on the sides, because then it just starts to become a mess. You start getting it everywhere. You don't realize it. Start touching it, putting it on the plexiglass, putting it on the side of something. So when you do to put it on, just use a small amount, as small of an amount as you can get away with. Obviously, you want it to spread all the way around it, but you don't want to go overboard. One more thing that would make a project like this a lot easier is having a decent caulking gun. The one I have has been used and abused for a few years, so it doesn't actually hold the pressure too much on the tube. So it's a little bit harder for me with this one because I got to keep stopping and making sure that it's got enough pressure to actually put a bead out that I wanted to. I probably should get a new one at this point, but it works, so I'm going to keep using it. I also didn't realize at the end until I was actually done with everything that my camera didn't actually record me installing the hinges, the latches, or the trim around it. Um, so if you want to see how I did that, just let me know in the comments, and I can go back and do a little walkover of what I did and how I did the hinges. But I messed up on that. Alright, so I found my 10 snips. I went ahead and made this. We're going to clean it up when we're finished with the inside of the bus, but for the most part, it is all framed up. I'm going to put a little bit of, I'll probably pull this off and shim it up a little bit better when I'm more close to being finished with the inside and we start actually making it look pretty, but I think it came out pretty good. And after I put the latch in there, it kind of sealed up that gap a little bit better too, so. Let us know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe, have fun.